The night was a kingdom of quiet certainties, a realm of soft-breathed shadows and secrets older than memory, and it stretched across the world like a shawl of endless ink, stitched with silver prayers. The stars whispered into the vast, listening ear of eternity. In that patient darkness, every dune, every stone, every sleeping leaf lay wrapped in the hush of belonging, as though the earth itself had drawn a single calm breath and refused to let it go. But beyond the rim of sight, a different heartbeat stirred, a slow and molten rhythm that pulsed beneath the horizon's black skin. It was the deep note of awakening, the sound of light preparing its armies, a low golden thunder building behind the curtain where night had ruled too long. First came the scent of change, a tremor of warmth riding the cold wind's spine, a whisper of saffron in the charcoal air. Owls faltered mid-cry, their wide eyes reading a prophecy in the shifting dark. Foxes paused with paws half lifted, their keen ears filled with a music not meant for the nocturne. Even the patient dunes felt it, a subtle tightening of their vast, wind-written muscles. For sand remembers every battle of shadow and flame. Then a thin blade of light carved the horizon, a single stroke of molten steel across the night's black fabric. The stars, once arrogant and innumerable, blinked as if an unseen hand had struck them with sudden doubt. The moon, pale regent of borrowed fire, retreated behind a bruised cloud, its silver crown trembling on an invisible brow, and the great hush deepened. Like the held breath before a song that will change the world, the dark veil, ancient and jealous, tried to weave itself thicker, dragging its threads across the east. But the golden force beneath it only laughed, a low, unanswerable laughter, the laughter of inevitability. For light is a patient warrior. It does not rush, it does not falter. It gathers, and when the hour ripens, it strikes with a beauty that no shadow can survive. From that single blade of brightness rose a widening river of fire, and the black fabric tore with a soundless scream. The veil did not merely lift, it ripped, a wound of radiance opening across the heavens, pouring molten morning into every waiting hollow. And in that rapture the world awoke. Birdsong burst like sudden fountains from the unseen thickets. The first wind of dawn, warm, honey-soft, ran across the sleeping grass and filled each trembling blade with gold. Mountains bared their spines of stone, letting the newborn light lick every ancient scar. Rivers caught the blaze and flung it skyward in 1,000 shattering mirrors. The earth itself seemed to shiver, as though the sun's touch were both a benediction and a command. It was not merely daybreak, it was a coronation. The sun did not rise, it ascended, a sovereign returning to its rightful throne, a victor claiming tribute from every corner of creation. Its victory cry was not a sound, but a saturation, the sky flooding with impossible blue, the air ringing with a silent hymn of heat. The hearts of all living things struck with an ancient recognition. This is the source, the fountain of warmth, the unarguable center around which every life must turn. And yet, in the triumph, there remained a tenderness. For the sun's victory is not born of cruelty. It conquers by giving light, giving growth, giving the gentle courage to bloom and begin. Even the shadows, now fled to the undersides of stones and the cool pockets of forests, were not destroyed. They were simply transformed, drawn into a dance of contrast that lets every brightness shine sharper. Travelers on far roads lifted their faces, eyes narrowed against the sudden blaze, but hearts opening like wild roses. Farmers felt the warmth on their brows and read in it the promise of harvest. Children awoke in their small beds, dreams dissolving into light, their laughter a continuation of the sun's silent music. Even the old and weary, whose nights were heavy with unspoken prayers, found their burdens briefly eased by that golden flood, as if the universe itself had answered with a simple, wordless, yes. O sun, ancient monarch of endless return, your victory is never final and never defeated, for each night will come again with its quiet legions, and each dawn will shatter them with fire. This rhythm is the heartbeat of the world, a perpetual duel without malice, a dance where loss and triumph are the same. And we, small witnesses with eyes of dust and water, stand in awe of the eternal struggle, knowing that in every darkness lies the seed of light, and in every blaze the gentle promise of rest. So the dark veil rips, and the sun's victory cry resounds, not as a roar but as a boundless illumination, a reminder that even the deepest night is only the prelude to radiance. And as the day stretches its golden fingers across valley and ocean, we remember that we too are woven of light, and that within our own shadows waits a dawn that cannot be denied.